is always going to be the Toastmasters International website. And first thing to do is to log in. Once you're logged in, then you have access to a lot more information. So we're going to start with, how do you choose which path you want to follow? There's a couple of ways that you can do that. First, you're always going to start by going to Pathways. And when you click on it, you'll see all of these different options are available to you. If you want to take the assessment, what that does is it asks you a number of questions about what's important to you learning-wise as you are thinking about Toastmasters and what you want to accomplish. Coming out of the assessment, you'll get 3 paths that they think best might suit your learning needs, and you can start to explore the paths from there. Another option, and from within that assessment, you can explore all 10 paths that are available. So if you look at your handout, it shows the 10 paths that are available. Another way that you can do that is if you go under Pathways, Learn More. This is a fabulous button that I just learned about on Monday. There's a lot of information here to help guide you. So as you slide down, you can see these are the 10 paths that are available. And if you click on one of the paths, it will give you a lot of detailed information about that path. It will tell you what's involved in each level of your program. It tells you, for example, that level 1 starts with an icebreaker, evaluation and feedback, research and presenting. Once you get to level 2, what the 3 projects you do are there. When you get to level 3, when you get to levels 3, 4, and 5, it's not only speech projects, but there are also projects that involve additional tasks. So for example, right now I'm in Visionary Communication level 3, and one of the tasks is to have a communication campaign. So I used advertising this workshop as my level 3 project, which then, after I complete this communication event, I'll give a speech about it. In addition to that project, you get to choose electives, and if you click the elective button, what did I do? It will show you, why is it doing
You're
that?
moving your cursor off the screen and it'll go dark when you do that.
It's not letting me move it to the side. So these are the different elective projects
You might
that are
have to
available.
minimize that a little bit to get to the side buttons. Do you think?
What was that?
You might have to minimize the screen a little bit to get to the side buttons.
That's helpful.
Where's the Learn More button that you said was so interesting?
No, that wasn't it.
I think that my connection is weak, and every time I'm hitting the button, it's loosening the connection. Okay. The Learn More button is, if you go to Pathways and you click, it's the first option.
Oh.
So you can, from here you can see details about each of the different paths. You can you can watch videos about how it began, and there's Q&As and other resources that are available on this page. Are there any other, so let's talk a little bit about paths in terms of, if after this training you don't want to mess with the technology, there are options. If you look at your handout, it corresponds with this picture. I've put black boxes around the projects. Just flip your whole handout over. I put black boxes around the projects that are available in written form. The difference between a written project and the online project are a few things. First, you have to pay an additional $25 if you want to get the project in manual form versus using it electronically. The second is that you'll need to interact with your education VP in a different way. As you complete each level, you need to submit a form, or your VP of Ed needs to submit a form to Toastmasters International to say you completed that level. Once they receive that form, they will forward to you the next level of materials. When you go to select levels 3, 4, and 5, you need to tell them at that point which elective projects you want, and you will only receive the materials for those elective projects. When you are doing this electronically, you have access to every elective project, whether you choose to use it or not. That's within your pathway. Those are the primary differences. So any questions about choosing your path?
Well, you'd say now you pay $25 for the materials. You're going to keep paying stuff down the line, right? Because you're going to move on to another project.
So when your first project with Toastmasters, whether it's electronic or written, is free. If you want it in written form, no matter what, even for that first project or subsequent projects, to get it in written form and paper is going to cost $25 for one entire path. When you finish your first path and want to follow and take another path, it will cost $20 for access to the electronic version of each subsequent path that you choose. When you get the paper version, you also get the electronic version, I believe. So, and you have access to your educational paths that you've purchased for as long as you are a Toastmaster member. So you can go back and look at them over and over and over again if you want.
Sounds like it's best just to go electronic from the beginning and keep them.
I like that idea because it's a lot less complicated from a mailing things back and forth viewpoint. It's getting over the technology hump. Once you get over the technology hump, it makes it a little easier. Welcome.
Oh, that's it.
Any other questions about choosing your path?
You're gonna show us how to get to the assessment and all that, go through that
Sure. So
pathway? and
I don't know if I
it's-
can
once-
do
Once I
these.
get my password,
Okay.
then I'll know how to do it.
So you click take the assessment. Because I've already done this, I'm not gonna actually go through and pay for another path at this point because I'm not ready yet. But when you take your assessment, you just click that button at the bottom, you select your language, and you hit start. Then you just select which 3 topics are you most interested in learning about, and you just work your way through the assessment. And then it will bring up the various paths and you can start exploring.
Okay.
Is that detailed enough?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions about selecting your path?